Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm James Gilchrist, and I work for the Los Angeles Rams and their new LA Stadium. This is changing. Now, the SoFi Stadium was just named on Sunday, so exciting time. The most expensive naming rights deal for a stadium in the world.
How much?
It starts off at $30 million a year, $31 million a year, and escalates over the next 20 years. Quite a lot. Yeah. So to start off, just want to give a background on myself. I am from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, which is located right down here on the south coast, pretty close to Rhode Island. I did grow up about 30 minutes from Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots play. After that, so growing up there, this is a picture of my family. I'm one of four. So this is me and my older brother. I have an older sister and a younger brother. And there's my dad, and I'm not sure my mom's in there. This is my brother's wife, Nancy. I attended UMass Amherst, as well as two other of my siblings, where I played football for my time being there. And then after that, lived in Boston for a few years, moved to Seattle to work for the Seattle Sounders in the MLS, prior to then coming out here to Los Angeles. I was the first one to move to the West Coast in the family, as I mentioned earlier, so when I moved to Seattle. So I forgot to delete the background, but so the reason I decided to end up joining sports, so it started off really in high school, and I have a nice picture of me here doing track in high school. It was really most of my life at that time, and the people I knew every day, I was training for sports, I was talking about sports, and it was a great tool not only for me to use to discipline myself, but it was a great way of helping to strengthen and build a community. So I continued on. Once I went to UMass, I was a sport management major in the Marketing McCormick Department of Sport Management, where I wrote numerous papers on the World Cup and the Olympics and their ability to really cross all barriers and strengthen the communities in their certain areas. So I include like the Olympics this year that were in Korea. I mean, just all the incredible things it did by breaking the barriers between North and South Korea, all because of sports, and the things that the World Cup is able to do every 4 years, really uniting the world through a sporting event. So that's why I wanted to get into it. I've volunteered multiple times as far as track. A lot of gold medals on those girls down there, which is nice as well. So, yeah, so as far as what I do, so I do premium sales for the new LA Stadium. What they're doing at the stadium is called a seat license, which is a newer concept, been around for about 10 to 15 years. Now started with the Cowboys and the Yankees when they opened up their stadium. So just want to give a quick breakdown of what a seat license is and show you some of the products they have inside the stadium. Some nice footage that not many people get to see. And it was just, as I mentioned, named SoFi Stadium, so a lot of the stuff I'll have to delete and switch the name into it. So a seat license, what it is, anyone here familiar with seat licenses? They come in? Oh, we got a few of them, nice. A few who came into the Premier Center to learn about it. To quickly go over it, it's a one-time deposit that gives you ownership in the stadium. So it's like buying, kind of like buying a house, right? Except shaped like a seat inside the stadium. Now, by having that ownership, you then have the right to purchase season tickets and playoff tickets for the Rams, but then you also get priority access to purchase a majority of the third-party events at the stadium. So there's going to be a lot of events happening there, about 40 plus a year. I believe today we are announcing our first event at the stadium, which will happen in 2020. I can't say who it is though, but it's very exciting.
Tell us.
I wish I could have. But you'll find out later today. But for that, having a seat license, you get access to purchase tickets for that event before the public at face value. Now, as far as I'll show you some images here. It's a little blurry right there. This is the stadium. It's the most expensive stadium in the world, estimated around $5 billion to build out. The capacity of 70,000 for Rams football, but can get up to 100,000 for other events. So such as the Olympics, which will be there in 28, the World Cup in 26, Super Bowl in 2022, college football playoffs in 23, the Pac-12 championship, WrestleMania. So there's many different things happening in there. I showed an image here of the Oculus. So this is actually the largest video board in the world. It is double-sided and 360 degrees around. So no matter where you're sitting, you'll have a 60-inch flat screen in front of you. Especially if you're in that front row, you can look on the inside on the opposite side of the field. So a humongous project. It's going to take them 12 days to put up the Oculus by itself. To give an example of just some type of the events, I mentioned a few already that they're able to hold into the stadium because there are 3 venues within the stadium in itself, from 70 to 100,000 to the American Airlines Plaza, which holds 18,000, to the amphitheater, which holds 6,000 people. So So as I mentioned, you have the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the college football playoffs. We also can hold the NBA All-Star game there, or the March Madness for the NCAA Final Four. We'll have esports. Yes, it will be covered, yeah. And actually, I showed you, this is a good question. And that's why I wanted to have it covered so we could hold any event. So we'll have a cover over the top. It's made of the synthetic glass material, which does allow the beautiful LA sunlight to shine through, but reduces UV rays 65%. So now you're sitting there still getting sunlight, but you're not burning, and it will always be 5 to 10 degrees cooler inside the stadium than outside. Having that roof allows us to really hold any event. Like in the American Airlines Plaza, we can literally build out a boxing ring and have boxing matches there as well. Basketball games right in the stadium. So it's going to be exciting. It's exciting for our events team, to the type of things they can plan to put on there, and that just benefits all the license holders because they can get tickets for those at face value, whether they want to go or they want to sell them. It's up to them. Question?
So I know a lot of people have bought tickets for themselves, either for seasons or. How can we as a group go buy tickets to a game event? Like, is there a group rate that we could get for a game, or a whole bunch of us could go to a game, like as a bunch thing?
Yeah, it's a good question. So with I don't deal much with the Coliseum where they're playing this year, but they do have a group's events team for the Rams that by having a certain number of people go, you get a discounted rate on tickets.
You know how many people that is?
When I was with the Sounders, our number was 20. It's typically around there, I believe, in sports. Question, Mike?
Yeah, a few of them. The tax laws have changed, right? So the seats may not necessarily be tax deductible, but the license may very well be, unless I presume you give your seats away and you could call it marketing or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good question. That's one thing we tried to work around because that's limited a lot of the sales of a lot of people that would typically purchase these because of the tax law. And so the tickets that you'll purchase after, they can't write off, but because the seat license is essentially leasing out in the stadium or buying a piece of that ownership, it's more flexible with what you can do there.
Another question, sorry, Rick. Staples, like they have a ticket that you can purchase. You can purchase a seat for every event that they have, like they have concerts and other things going on. Does the Rams Stadium, do they plan on holding other events? And if so, I mean, just Rams own the stadium, right?
Correct.
So will they be hosting other events? Can you buy a seat that will get you to every single event?
Yeah, so that's what the license does. It allows you to have that seat for the Rams, but then all the other events that are coming there, you can purchase seats for that event as well at face value before the public. And the difference with our license for the other events, instead of being limited to your Rams seat, you can purchase any seat in the stadium.
And just like the Lakers, for example, they, like if you don't want your tickets, you can just put them up. There's like an exchange, an online exchange where you can just sell them. The Rams have the same thing set up, or whatever.
Yeah, we'll have the same thing set up specifically for the Rams. For the other events, which is another investment opportunity, you can just post that up on StubHub, Ticketmaster, whatever the sponsoring ticket broker is for that.
Thanks.
Next question.
How do the licensing fees compare between the Rams and the Chargers?
Good question. So the Chargers are actually a little bit less than the Rams as far as their license. As we say, you pay for what you get. So their fee is a little bit less. As far as the ticket prices are the same. Comparably, the nice part with our seat license, we're the only NFL team where we offer a complete refund of that seat license at the end of the term. So though there is a slight difference in that, you're still getting that money back. It just depends which product you're looking for. Do you want to watch the Rams or do you want to watch the Chargers? And you say you have the Lakers, you have the Clippers, you have the Dodgers, you have the Angels. The Dodgers and Lakers are always more expensive, but you always make more money if you're reselling those games.
Two questions. The SSL tickets, is that for one seat or two? And how much is it? And do you have an investment opportunity to make money later in the future to sell your seats, so you're actually making money on your money that you've invested over the years?
Yeah, good question. So the seat license for every single seat. So every seat will have its own license attached to it. They start at $2,000 and go up to $200,000. So there's a wide range of options to choose from. They are transferable or resellable at any point. So you can resell them. A nice benefit that you get your money back, so you'll never lose money on the seat license in itself. Because whoever you sell it to will get that money back. So at the very least, sell it for what you want. But the stadium will sell out, which means you can't get season tickets for 50 years once that happens. So people are going to be hungry. We went on sale about a year and a half ago. We're about 70% sold out right now. Yeah.
The $2,000 seats, that's like a one, like, is that, you pay that once or annually or?
So it is a one-time deposit, but you can split it up over 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, so if you're looking at 2019, all you would need to pay would be $200 for those seats. 30 rows off the field, we have a $4,000 seat license.
And then you have them for 50 years. So
Yeah, then you're set for 50 years. You have that seat.
How much are the seats?
Seats to the game. You have to
Okay.
purchase season tickets.
Got it. It's not season tickets, just the license to get
The
the.
license, yes.
Yeah, you would still end up purchasing the tickets,
What about parking lots?
which would come to June. You can buy parking. We'll have 45,000 parking spots within a 2-mile radius compared to 9,000, which the Coliseum has. We have 10,500 in the district alone, which will be, which you can purchase, but those typically goes to the premium seating members.
Question? We have time for Mark to talk.
So if WRN wanted to buy a pair of season tickets to use as giveaways or member incentive type thing for a game, is there a group incentive offered by the organization, or is it the same?
Yeah, it's the same price throughout, just everything's listed so we can negotiate price. The big benefit by knowing me, right, I have access to all the seats and getting in before most of the public even knows it's on sale, so you're just getting better inventory, better choices, because every week we're literally selling out sections. Yes?
What's the next SoFi?
So SoFi is a financial company. So they started off actually helping with college debt for Ivy League students and have slowly grown to be one of the largest in the world.
Like venture capital or?
Yes, SoFi, I'm not sure what the so means.
SoFi was started, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. I know because of having college-age kids as like a way for college students with student loans to get it like all condensed and better rates and things like that, and they've blown up into this huge company.
Yeah, big base in San Francisco.
Last question, Peter.
Yeah, I just gotta say, you guys gotta go see, if you haven't seen James yet, go, if he's in Playa Vista, it's just an amazing virtual tour of what the stadium looks like. It's so cool. Go down to visit him, it's a great place. He gave me a beer, and I was happy.
Yeah, I have beer there, I got wine, I think definitely.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to set something up like that too. It's worth coming. We have a whole patio area, have food, beer. So please reach out, come check it out. I'll set up a lunch bunch so multiple people can get there at once.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's hear it for James Gilchrist.
Thank you.
Selling those ramp seats.